Life is but a dream, they say, but how high?
Welcome to Module 2. In this module, we're going to be talking about listening without judging. Right? So in the last module, Module 1, we learned that judging people isn't always a good thing to do. Even if we're right or even if we're wrong, it's still not something right to do because we can always ask the person how they're doing. So what we want to do is when we are inquiring or when we're asking questions or we're wondering, why does this person act like this? Now, one of the first steps that you want to do that we'll specifically talk in this module is you want to listen. You want to listen without judging. You want to ask questions without judging. Yes, you may have the answers in your head, but I promise you, a lot of the times when you just ask questions, a lot of the times what you will learn is that that we don't know everything. And sometimes when you pass those kind of judgments, you actually end up having to apologize to the person because maybe the whole time you were upset with them and mad at them, and then they tell you what they were going through and why things happened. Then they tell you what happened and then you realize, oh, whoops. All right, so when you're listening, you want to ask specific questions. So you want to ask questions like, how are you doing today? Is everything okay? Now, at this point, when someone opens up to you, they might tell you if they're okay, and they might tell you if they're not okay, or they might say, I don't want to talk about it. Now, let's say they say, I don't want to talk about it. Your job is not to keep pushing and pushing. No, we need to talk about this because you're not getting the work done and you're ruining everything. Right? No. If they say, I don't want to talk about it, you can gently say, it's okay. When you're ready to talk about it, I'll be here to listen. Right? And more than likely, the person will eventually open up to you. Now, let's say you ask the question. Now the person is telling you, well, I'm just really frustrated and I'm really tired and I go home and maybe my parents aren't getting along and I'm trying to do my homework, but I can't get my homework done because nobody's getting along and I just, right? And they might start crying, right? Your job is to listen without judgment. Don't necessarily feel sorry for the person, right? Don't just listen to them. See where they are and then see how you can help them, right? Because when we're listening to one another and we're working with one another in the group, what we're really doing is we are seeing how can we help the other person to get the project and get the things done, so that way we can all collaborate and we can all work together. So I want you to actually practice this. The next person you speak to, maybe a classmate, maybe your parents, maybe your teachers, ask them a question. And I want you to really listen to what they're saying. Because when you listen, then it'll help you understand why maybe some things are the way they are. And see if they're willing to answer. And I want you to practice. If they're not willing to answer, I want you to not think about why, but think about how you could be maybe a better friend or a better student or better understand yourself. All right? So I will see you over in Module 3. Thank you so much for attending Module 2. I'll see you soon.
All in all, we don't just teach our students to fly, we empower them to soar. And with that being said, what are you waiting for?